over 10 ways to fund your real estate properties. If you're trying to do rental properties or even buy and flip deals, more than 10 ways to do it. So if you've been struggling with cash, getting the capital to get into deals, make sure you stick around to the end. I'm going to break down my top 10, some of the most popular top 10 ways to get the money to do more deals. So this will help you. It will open up your mind a bit. Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor. If you guys are interested in any of our programs, we have a bunch, as you guys know about. Let me just tap in here. We have a bunch, as you guys know. We have the Inner Circle program where we'll just teach you the whole game for those who want to know, and we'll give you one-on-one support. So it will get you beyond just like some course, essentially. It gets you some support, some access to our deal analysts, and gets you all the information and networking you need. If you just want us to find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for you, that's the Boots on the Ground program. Just reach out, DM me, Boots on the Ground on Instagram. If you're on YouTube, you can drop a comment that says I subscribe, to drop a Boots on the Ground comment. We'll send over information. The next real estate ride along tour, because people have been asking me about this, March 15th, Saturday, March 15th, we're going to do it in Philly. You're going to get to spend the day with me touring properties. The last time we did this, we saw 17 properties in one day, and we grabbed lunch together as well. So a great way to get introduced to the game, to learn the cost of construction. On each property we visit, we go in with a rehab budget, so you can see exactly what it costs to build rental properties or buy and flip properties in today's market. And we show you what we purchased the properties for and the ARVs. So good opportunity to learn the game there. Let's get into this 10 ways to fund your rental properties. There's a bunch of them. I would say when I was getting started, maybe I knew about one, maybe one or two of these. Not many of these though. Hey, Mike, I see you here. Definitely put that on your calendar. The March 15th ride along. Throw that on your calendar so that you're a part of that. But I only knew about maybe one or two of these. I didn't know how any of these things worked. I knew them in concept, like maybe generally, but I'm going to get into more information than even I got. If you guys have questions, comments as we're running through this, drop them in the chat, drop them in the comment section, and we'll answer your questions live. We're only going to run for about 20 minutes, so don't sit on your questions. So the number one strategy I would say for a lot of people is retirement accounts. If you've been working somewhere, most people don't, I would say these days, don't work somewhere for 20, 30 years. People are working 4 or 5 years here, 2, 3 years there, and you're accruing all of these retirement accounts. So you're going to have old 401ks, old IRAs, old Roths that are sitting there, just like I did. And you can roll them over either into like self-directed IRAs and purchase real estate directly through some of these retirement accounts, which a lot of people don't know about. I would recommend, if you had 30, 40K in a retirement account, you want to start thinking about auctions. Can I take 10 grand, 15 grand? Sometimes I mean, there are a lot of auctions. I don't even say sometimes, lots of places where you can buy properties. They may be land lots. It may be, big plots of land for $1,000 or less. I'm going to start thinking about, can I take my retirement accounts, roll them into a self-directed, and start buying this stuff directly through my retirement account? You can also just cash them in. And that's what I did when I was just getting started in this game. I didn't have much cash at all. I mean, my first job, I made $6,000 the whole year. And I have tax returns to prove it, right? Like I pretty much paid to work my first year. So I didn't have a lot of capital, but I was always contributing. I had maybe 10, 15 grand in a retirement account in my mid 20s, and I just cashed it out. I put it all into real estate. It's probably the best thing I could have done, because even with the tax penalties and all those things, if you're not making a lot of money, then you're not really experiencing the tax penalties of doing this, or filling them in a full bore. So I cashed out my 401k. My buddy who got me into real estate cashed out his 401k. My brother cashed out his 401k. All of us bought real estate with it. All of these properties appreciated well over 100K. And I don't believe the 401k was going to do similar results realistically. So at times you do have to think about your retirement account, and you have to look at it. I've seen people with retirement accounts with $1 million in a retirement account, because I've seen people with more, quite frankly, because I in my former profession was managing money for millionaire clients. So I saw a lot of this, but I'm just talking about regular mom and pops. I see people all the time as I'm doing this real estate coaching for you guys, $500,000, $250,000, $1 million in a retirement account, and they're just kind of sitting on it. And I'm looking at it and just saying, well, you're only going to get 5 or 6% on that account. You're not going to get any tax losses, and as soon as you touch the money, you're going to pay taxes on it. Taking some of that capital off the table and getting a couple of rentals is just a kind of a no-brainer. But so many people are afraid of real estate. They don't have the education to really tap in, that they just don't do it. But I would recommend, as you learn, because you don't want to just take your money out of a retirement account and throw it into nothingness. You want to learn what you're doing. You have to invest in your education at some point. And you'll invest in your education by getting into a mentorship program, hopefully something with more support, one-to-one level support where you can get questions answered, versus just course content. You're either going to learn that way, or you're going to learn by going out and making mistakes and losing tens of thousands of dollars like everybody else does. I've told people, hey, I got burned for a GC for $50K on my first deal. And I was telling this to a guy on a podcast, and he's like, bro, I got burned for $250. And I was like, geez, I don't even know if I should tell my $50K story anymore. He got banged for $250,000 on his first deal. It happens all the time. And that education is very painful. So I just advise against it. I really do, from what I know. So that's a way you can go. Two things to think about with retirement accounts. You have taxes when you pull that money out. You have to factor that in, whatever your tax bracket is. And then there's a 60-day rule. If you do a loan from your 401k that you're currently working at this job, like you haven't left, once you leave, you can roll that money into self-directed retirement accounts and do your thing. But if you're still working there, and you take a loan from your 401k, if you get terminated, which could happen, there's recessions, there's all types of stuff going on, there's a 60-day payback rule on that loan. So that could get super accelerated for you. So it's something you need to be aware of, that 60-day rule. Number two, and guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe, share the content with someone else you want to get value. A lot of people are like, Brian, this content is great. Oh, I got a lot of value out of it. Did you share it with somebody else? I gave it to you for free. Pass it around to somebody else, because this could help somebody to get into the game and get their first deal. That first deal changes everything. It's not, a lot of people will ask, Brian, how many deals do you have now? How many have you done? It's not the deals that you do in the future that truly matter. They will be more profitable probably than what you do early. They will get you to hit your goals, but that first one is what transforms you. That first one changes your mindset. And it's the mindset that leads to, it's the mindset shifts that lead to massive results in the future. So you don't necessarily need to put so much pressure on your early deal or deals 1 through 3. Even if you completely suck at this, you can recover on pretty much anything if you continue the path, because you will tighten up, you will get better. And one profitable deal could be a 50 to 100K flip, just one deal. Or you could hit one cash out refinance that is 50, 75,000, and it can just bump you right back up. But share the content with someone who you want to get value. Number 2, credit cards. So yes, this is circulating around the internet. Yes, you can set up an LLC, get the tax ID through the LLC. You can get business credit cards through the LLC. Yes, you can do all that. You want to look for those 0% to 18-month, or 0% for 18-month intro rates, so that you can operate. The reason you want to do it in a business credit card versus a personal is people tend to do this strategy. One, you can't technically buy a property with a credit card. There's not like a swipe machine at the closing company where you pull out your Amex and they swipe your card and now you own the property. You have to get the money off of the card. So you have to use a third-party service, or you have to get a cash advance on the card, depending on what they offer. And that's going to cost you 4 to 10%. So if you tried to get 100K, you'd only get 90. You'd pay 10 in fees to do the strategy. It's a bit more risky to me, in my opinion. You need knowledge. If you're crazy enough to go out and get some credit cards and try to invest in real estate before you even invested in your own knowledge, of real estate or like got some type of mentorship or something like that, I think you need to be checked, because it's a risky strategy. If something goes wrong, it's not, it's not monopoly money, right? It is still personally guaranteed. It can bite you. So you have to be careful with the credit card strategy. I would say the credit card strategy is for advanced people. If you're not advanced, learn, or if you're starting off with like very low cash or credit, learn how to get in front of profitable deals. Here's a news flash for everyone. The biggest skill set in real estate is not building houses. It is not selling houses. It's not even landlording. It could be argued to be, but the biggest skill in real estate is learning how to get these deals, learning how to find profitable deals. And you will find profitable deals by learning creative financing and wholesaling. Because even if you get better at development, you get better at building, you get better at landlording, you get better at all these skill sets. If you can't find profitable deals, you're dead. You're done. You're out of the game. You're wiped out. Your market got priced out. You don't know how to get straight to the kitchen table in front of the seller. You got to get to that information. You're going to want to get there anyway. So if you're starting with less cash, just get there right now. Wholesale a couple deals, make your 20, 30,000, and then put that into a buy and hold deal. And you'll have the knowledge of how to find profitable deals for yourself. So always focus on acquisitions and profitable deals. The more profitable the deals, the more risky the financing strategies you can do, because there's more meat on the bone, more security. But that's credit cards. Keep them in a business account. Off the top rope strategy. Definitely be careful. Number 3, we have crowdfunding. And guys, if you're getting value, once again, like, comment, subscribe, share the content. If you're interested in our any of our programs, like the Boots on the Ground, where we find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for you, just DM me Boots on the Ground. And then we have the ride along tour, our next ride along tour, March 15th, Saturday. Spend a day with me in Philly. Number 3, crowdfunding. So if you're doing, some people come to me and are like, Brian, I want to do 100 units in 2 years, and I just want to be done. You're going to want to be going after more like multifamily commercial style deals, which is it's a different style of investing. And you would still want to have some of those wholesaling mindsets as well. You want to learn how to get in front of big deals. But there are websites, Fundrise, Realty Shares, where you can go if you can find profitable deals. Once again, if you can use these wholesaling and creative financing strategies to uncover profitable deals, you can bring them to crowdfunding websites and get them financed on the platform. And that can be a very profitable strategy that I've seen be very successful in the multifamily space, in the ground up space, in the commercial space. So there is an appetite for that on those crowdfunding platforms. Is something you want to be aware of. You have to read the fine print. There's different fees and costs. Everything. You want to learn how to find very profitable deals, because there's always fees. There's always some, what we would call like the cost of doing business, which is something that you have to get comfortable with as a real estate investor. It's a cost of doing business. There's going to be some overage. There's going to be some stuff here. You want to factor in general profitability, of your individual deals for that. You want to just kind of have your deal analysis creating some type of fluff and drag, or trying to project that out as well as you can without overdoing it. Number 4, and I would advise against this in certain scenarios, friends and family. A lot of people will go and say, all right, I want to get into real estate. Let me try to borrow money or raise money or take a loan from friends or family. It can work, but it's also, to me, an advanced strategy. I would view this like credit cards. In fact, I'd rather you take money off of credit cards than take money from friends and family. Let me preface it that way, because you're hitting way too close to home. With real estate, it can be very stressful. Doing your own deals is a level of stress. Doing just deals for you, it's a level of stress. But as you become more knowledgeable of real estate, it's a level of understanding as well, of just generally how the deals move, how they appreciate over time, and different release points in terms of being able to refinance out of deals or use bridge loans. You have more knowledge of the whole financing space, so you can navigate this game with more comfort. You're less stressed out. But they're stressed in doing your own deals, dealing with city inspectors and different, the different things that happen when you're building houses. Building for others is a higher level of stress. Doing this for others with others in mind, which would be if you're borrowing money from friends and family, higher level of stress, because now you're doing this on behalf of other people. And everything that you would otherwise just learn from, you kind of have just more scrutiny on every deal. It's a more advanced strategy. You only want to do it after you got some early mistakes out of the way, after you got some kinks out of the way, so that you can properly navigate through these deals with those different pressure points and timelines and repayments to people who are very close to you. So I would be very careful with that strategy, guys. If you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe, share the content with someone else who you want to get value. And if you want to learn how to find profitable deals, the Inner Circle program that we have, very good. Not only do you network with investors from all across the country, which I think is a superpower within itself. I didn't even have anything close to that. I had a buddy who invests. I didn't have like access to 40, 50 people investing from across the country. But if you just want to also learn how to invest without tons of cash or perfect credit, how to do creative financing and how to structure deals, it's a good opportunity to do so. And that is the most important skill in real estate, in my opinion. So I would definitely, if you're interested in any of that stuff, there's a link in the description, or you can click the link in bio on IG, but there's a link in the description to this video on YouTube. You can kind of tap in and learn more about my story, how I got started, and how to scale yourself, more importantly. Because I got started, great. The only value of me getting started is that I can show you how to get started, and you can do better than me. That's really what I would like, because if you can do your thing and avoid the mistakes that I've had to go through in scaling very fast, very large, and seeing different levels of the game, it's something we've been talking about a lot. Not to go on a mindset rant, but something we've been talking about a lot is directional accuracy. It's just being in the right position to accelerate yourself. So how we describe it is like, if the goal was for you to go down south and I pointed you west, no matter how fast you went, how slow you went, you'd never get south. You're just going to keep going west. If I pointed you south and your goal was to go south, no matter how slow or fast you went towards that goal, your directional accuracy would be locked in. I put you in a direction of accuracy where you're going to hit your target. That's essentially what you're trying to do in real estate. It's just get to the point of directional accuracy, being able to lock in on a strategy that has several areas of profitability: cash flow, tax losses, and appreciation. And in general, if you stay within certain risk tolerances, you're gonna achieve profitability long term by just hanging on to your properties. Directional accuracy. And then you can go faster or slower depending upon your taste or risk tolerance or how quickly you grasp concepts. But that's directional accuracy. Directional accuracy takes the pressure off. It takes the damn pressure off, because it's like, you don't have to be perfect as a real estate investor. Thank God. Thank God, because you never will be. You never will be, because you're managing people and things go wrong. People break, and it's blue collar. It's a little different. It's not a white collar system you just set up and it's just perfect. Things break all the time, and then things update. But if you have some directional accuracy in the path that you're going down, you will achieve success. So many people have that fear. What if I lose money in real estate? What if I don't make it? What if I don't hit my goal? What if I don't get a deal? There's all these what ifs, and that's doubt entering the mind. But the reality is, it's like, go look at my IG stories. A deal goes under contract through our program every other day, one or two, every other day. Just through the Boots on the Ground program, deals are trading so many. You know how little effort it is for the market to produce you one? You just got to keep going. Stick with your directional accuracy. You get to where you want to go. Stop thinking about, like, let go of the direction. Real estate is a good direction. What other directions do you have in your life that are better than real estate for building long-term wealth? Do you have some laundry list that I'm unaware of? Many people barely have any money saved, which means you have no tangible plan to build long-term wealth and get out of your current situation. You have absolutely no tangible plan that you can articulate that is better than real estate. So real estate would be directionally accurate as a path for you to get on versus wherever else you're going right now. If you have a better plan, fine. You can mix this in a little bit, right? Maybe this is a plan B. If your startup doesn't take off, if your hobby doesn't take off, maybe real estate is plan B. At least this is going to stack up. Because if you talk to a lot of your wealthy people, your artists, your actors, your sports players, they are parking their money in real estate. Floyd Mayweather just gifted his grandson a freaking skyscraper or something crazy. But he's not the only one. He's an extreme one, but he's not the only one. You go behind all of them. Your favorite rapper, he's got like 30 cribs. He's cash flowing. That's what it is. Number 5, house hacks and FHA and grants. House hacks, FHA, and grants. So house hacking is easy. This is how most of us start. We go out, we get our 3.5% down. Figure you got 10, 15K, maybe 20K. You find a house that fits in that parameter that can cash flow. There's your directional accuracy. So many people overcomplicate that, right? How do I get the best deal? Where do I find it? You find a property that fits within the parameters of the capital that you have. If you have 15K, you find a deal that fits within that produces positive cash flow. You go after the one that produces the most cash flow you can find, or the ones. If you find a bucket, that's what you go after. If you have to go out of state, you go out of state. You go to where the deals are cash flowing. You wouldn't go fish in an area where there's no fish. You wouldn't get dressed in a fisherman's outfit, rent a boat, and go out and fish in an area that you know verifiably does not have fish. Why would you try to buy and hold or do something, cash flow in an area that has no cash flow? And then blame the market. The market's slow. The market's dead. You start watching negative news and believing your reality. So FHA loan, 3.5% down, 620 credit score. You can do it from anything from 1 to 4 families. I mean, you're going to go out and get your first triplex, live in one unit, rent the other 2, live for free, start saving all your money, whatever you're earning. You don't understand what whatever you're earning will feel like when you don't pay to live. So that could be you stacking up an extra 1,000 a month. If you're in an expensive market, that could be you stacking an extra 2 G's a month because you're not paying that to live. You're living for free. So whatever you earn, you keep. Now you can invest more easily and scale. And then there's a lot of grants and forgivable loans. We've been talking about that for the last month, really for all of 2025 so far. We've been talking about these grants and forgivable loans. So I would recommend just watching prior lives from even this year, and you'll see that. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribed. If you're interested in that Boots on the Ground program where we find the deals for you, we tap you into the cheap cash flow markets. We're going to expand, but we're still perfecting the Philly market right now. And then we're going to start expansion. Just reach out, DM me Boots on the Ground, click the link in the description, click the link in bio. Number 6, HELOC. If you're in a market like California, a lot of people bought properties and they just appreciated a ton. Same thing in New York. I see this a lot. And then you're walking around with a property where you could get a HELOC for $250,000, $400,000 I've seen. 500,000 HELOCs. And then you can take that capital, you can buy cheap rental properties. The strategy is just the dislocation of value. Because California properties are way overvalued. Take some of that value and put it into cheaper properties, maybe in different markets, and set up remote management systems. It's bottom line. Because you're dislocating value. This single family property doesn't cost logistically. If you take land value out of the equation, the cost to build a single family property is the same in California as it is in New York, as it is in Philly. It's pretty similar per square foot because the materials, they're not local, they're national. So it's really national material costs plus labor. The labor is not a real factor of what it costs to build. There might be an overcharge or premium that general contractors are charging within a certain area, but it doesn't mean I couldn't hypothetically ship in workers from across the country that would work for $200 a day, even if locally people were paying $600 a day. Doesn't mean I couldn't ship in, get licensed, and crush their labor costs down and build that same property. So the cost is the cost is the cost. So if you have a single family property that is way overvalued compared to another market, and you can access that capital, it only makes sense to pour into a cheaper market that's likely to have a higher chance of appreciation. That thought process is, if I can buy a single family property for 150,000 and you buy it for $500,000, even in an A-class market, which property has the highest chance of 3xing in value, yours or mine? Well, if I bought it for 150, is for the real estate market, it's a lot easier to go from 150 to 350 or 400 than it is to go from $500,000 to 1.5 million. It's a lot further of a reach. So I would be smarter to invest in undervalued markets that are likely to appreciate. They're going to give me the highest chance of upside. And that's where you make a lot of money. We have a couple questions. Where are the best markets for 2 to 4 families? It depends. The best markets for 2 or 4 families, I mean, it's definitely in the inner city. It's definitely in the inner city where you have some density. You're going to have high demand for multifamily. It's probably in affordable cities right now. Baltimore, Philly, parts of Ohio, maybe upstate, depending on how set up there you are. Some parts of New Jersey. There are parts of Texas that have decent opportunity. I mean, there are some markets all across the country, but they tend to be kind of in those city type areas where you have that younger working class. Those are going to perform well. But in affordable markets, they perform very well. Like if you can buy a multifamily property like a triplex for $300K or less right now, or maybe like $275 or less, that's a really good deal. You're going to cash flow $1,000 a month on that with reasonable financing, and rates are likely to get pushed lower over the next couple of years. Yeah, Cleveland's definitely there. So, you can kind of take that for what you want. Looking for 1% markets where rents are less than, yeah. You want to be in you want to be in the Northeast. You want to be in the Rust Belt. Not a lot of people are talking about the Rust Belt, but Google the Rust Belt. You want to be in the Northeast. You want to be Philly, Pittsburgh. Atlanta's decent. North Carolina could be decent. But you just have to search around. I think you need to get exposed to all the markets, and then you can understand them a little better. And the strategy matters. If you're doing co-living, if you're doing Section 8, that matters too. And there's some other strategies. Or if you're flipping. Some markets are better to flip in. Number 7, seller financing. Seller financing is where you take the existing debt on the property and you leverage it. So if somebody's in foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, and they already have debt, you can take that debt and you can just kind of structure a deal where the debt either stays in the seller's name somehow. So it may stay in their name through subject to. You may do a lease purchase option where you go to like a burnout landlord. They used to manage this property with their son. Their son graduated from college, moved away, got married. They don't want to manage it anymore. So they have this house. They're out of state. And you're going to come in and take the pain away. Hey, I'm just going to master lease this property, $900 a month. You don't have to worry about anything. And I'm going to have the option to buy it from you within the next 3 years at this specified price point. And you can control that property. You can soup it up and then rent to own it. You can do different types of things like that. But you have to just learn the basic core strategy of getting in front of a motivated seller. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. So many people want to know so much about it. You'll learn about it as you go through it. But the number one skill is to just get in front of motivated sellers. That will get you to the goal. But that's seller financing. So there are ways to leverage the existing debt and then not even have to deal with the bank, not have any down payment, not need any credit, and you can start to control deals. It's called control without ownership. So there are ways to profit off of deals. Airbnb is essentially a form of control without ownership to a degree, or it can be. That's one of those high level Airbnb strategies is seller finance your way, master lease your way into an Airbnb deal. It's seller financing. It's creative financing. So it's number 7. And that's something to learn. That's something we talk a lot about. We teach a lot about. For the people who really get into it, they understand it and they start to structure. So I think it takes some time for that concept to lock in, but once it does, it really opens you up to different ways of investing in real estate and what people truly mean when they say you can invest without cash or credit. What that actually means. Not just like that phrase, that cliche phrase, but what it actually means behind the scenes. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe. Share the content with somebody else who you want to get value. I'm interested in PA. What's the best way to locate deals? I used to use PropStream. We have some other websites. I mean, PropStream's cool. They're kind of all cool just to get leads. I just say get leads however cheap you can and just have somebody call them. Just have somebody cold call them. Just get straight in front of it. Because right now it's like some of the old strategies work the best because everybody's doing so much texting and all of this advanced stuff. It seems like the mail and the cold calling are working better than some of the tech right now because people are tuned out from the tech. It's really interesting. So I would say just guerrilla marketing, bandit signs to an 800 number. Got to check with L&I on that one though. Make sure you're not violating anything. And cold call, direct mail. Get straight to them. Get straight to it. Get them on the phone. Hey, you looking to sell? When's the last time you put a rehab into this thing? Ask your questions and get it on with. Get them an offer. If they're motivated, they'll sell. And it's a volume game. So with volume games, you want to take some of the heavy lifting, maybe outsource that, maybe outsource the cold calling, offshore that. Said, I know there's new restrictions on this method. No. I mean, everything's local. But yeah, guys, share the content with somebody who you want to get value. Number 8, equity partners. Equity partners is where you bring somebody in. So we're going to partner up. I'm going to get 2 buddies. We're going to put together $50K each. And we're going to start this partnership and we're going to build it. And it's kind of a vibe of like, it feels like offloading risk to a degree because now you're like in it. But you lose a lot of control. You have a lot less control with this strategy. One thing I like about real estate is I want you guys to all be like wildly independent, like fierce independence. To just be like, look, I do my real estate, I do what I want. I kind of do my own thing. I want you guys to kind of have that experience. And to be part of that is being able to run your operation how you want to run it. It's your portfolio, it's your thing. So run it how you want to run it. Add in virtual assistants, scale it, keep it slim, whatever you want to do. When you have equity partners, now it's a group think. So one guy's super aggressive, you're more conservative. There's always this push and pull. And equity partners can they can just bring in different types of parameters into your deals that you just don't want to deal with. It can be a distraction to you. And sometimes a distraction in real estate, it can be very expensive. A distraction can be more expensive than anything, really. It could be as expensive as a bad contractor. It's like, I don't need to be distracted with things outside of real estate deals, like arguments about who wants to go fast, who wants to go slow, things like that. So you have to factor in your equity partners and if that strategy is worth it. Maybe it's worth it on one deal and then you do your own thing, but you have to consider that. How is that structuring? Is everyone on the same page? Or is it just on a deal by deal basis? That can be a way to syndicate and partner essentially on a deal by deal basis. And that can make sense. But it depends. For the burst strategy, if you're trying to really cater it towards scaling the burst strategy, it would be kind of partners with some more types of control on what you're doing, from what I've seen. So more advanced, not necessary to start there. Maybe you stop there at some point, or as you get good, you can get there. But it's not an entry point. Seller financing, HELOC, house hack, retirement accounts. Those are all good ones. Number 9, hard money. All you want to know at hard money is, on average, it's going to be 3 points and 12%. That's pretty much standard hard money. 3 points and 12%. 12% interest, 3 points up front. So for every $100,000 they lend to you, 3 points would be $3,000. And then 12% interest, $1,000 a month on the loan. That's how your hard money is typically going to work. And then you can get financing up to 100%. So hard money can be good. It can be dangerous. I would say if you had no knowledge, no experience, and you were just trying to go out and do your first deal, hard money can be dangerous. You'd probably be better off funding differently or taking very low leverage with hard money, because you don't know what you're doing yet, and you're going to have like more of a timer on you. If you have kind of more experience, or you have an experienced team, like you have some type of group and they've helped you to do it, or there's different resources in place, then hard money is fine. Hard money is fantastic, quite frankly. It's what allows you to scale as you get better at finding deals. You're always limited by your deal flow. A lot of people think this is kind of interesting. A lot of people think they're limited by the amount of capital they have. If I had more money, I could do more deals. You can only do more deals if you can find more deals. It's not your amount of money. People just think that's what it is. They just think it's money. If I just had more money, you could be a bigger fish. You could go overpay for a deal. But in order to be profitable, you need to be able to find good deals. It's the number one skill set. But once you do it, things like hard money are really good, because now you can find a bunch of deals, and then you have a bunch of hard money partners who will fund those deals. That's scaling now. Now you can do 5, 6 deals at once. But if you can't find those 5 to 6 deals consistently that are profitable, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And then you have to manage them properly as well. Management is an important piece. You have to respect management. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe. If you're on IG, DM me cash flow, DM me boots on the ground. We have the next ride along March 15th, Saturday. Come spend a day with me in Philly, touring properties. Jay said virtual assistants help out with cold calls. Yes, you can pay, I think, anywhere from, not I think, I know, anywhere from $2 to probably like $6 an hour cold calling and get results. Looking to burr. That's what we do. We burr. We burr. Hard money is paid off over how many years? Hard money loan is only a 13-month loan typically. There are different tiers of these types of lenders. There's bridge lenders as well. But hard money usually goes up to 65% of the loan to value. It's a 13-month term. So it's for acquisition and construction. And they'll usually, most lenders will do 90% of the acquisition, 100% of the rehab. So you can do that. You can kind of do that math. $100,000 property, they're going to do 90% acquisition. So I'm putting down 10,000, and then I need 65,000 to fix it. They're going to do 100% of that. So I come to the table $10K plus closing costs. They finance the rest. There are lenders that'll do that. And then there are 100% lenders. There are 80-20 lenders. There's all these different lenders, but they're usually paid off after the refinance. You buy it, you rehab it, put the tenants in, refinance out. During the refinance, you pay off the hard money. Number 10, private money. Private money is great, kind of. Not as great as advertised, we'll say. But it can be good if you build out that relationship. You can kind of build private money into what you need. And I think the more positive deals you do, the stronger you can negotiate with private money to get better rates. I would say private money is usually like a 10 to 20% fee, like total fee for a loan. But they can give you money for anything. So it can be like, hey, I need the money for the down payment on this deal. I don't want to come to the table with any cash. And a private money lender can fund that down payment with a private loan. They might want 10% paid upon refinance. But now with this private money, if you had a hard money lender and a private money lender, I mean, you essentially can just do deals with no cash in them. And if you're good enough at finding them and rehabbing them on a tight budget, then you can carve out a profit. Yeah, you can carve out a reasonable profit. So private money can be good. They can give you quick loans, short-term loans, down payments. It's a good strategy. The issue is, where do you find them? And you find private money lenders, I'll actually answer that question, because nobody really answers that question of where you find private money lenders. And you find them networked into real estate networking groups. That's actually where you find them, because they're looking for you. They're looking for deal makers because they're lenders. So you have to be in groups like our inner circle has a couple of private money lenders, several actually. And it's not because I like implanted them. Private money lenders are like, they just pop up, man. They'll pop up. They're out there, but they're around the real estate. So as you get around the real estate, you'll get in front of private money lenders. So a lot of people, they're not around private money lenders because they won't invest in themselves in any sense. They won't invest in themselves in education and like mentorship, but they also won't go to networking events or anything. They won't get around the real estate. They want to watch the real estate from the sideline. So getting into mentorship or pushing yourself to go to the networking event, not that I would recommend just running into a real estate networking event. I actually wouldn't go until I got mentorship, because the mentorship shows you how to really navigate the networking event. to have like, hey, here's what I'm looking for. Here's what I do. You're not necessarily going there to learn about real estate. You're going to a networking event to structure deals and see what's moving and shaking. So becoming a part of kind of mentorship, getting both of those aspects, getting networked in with different types of lenders, private money lenders, other people doing deals, that kind of, to me, puts you on a much faster track. It becomes more undeniable when you start seeing other people. A lot of people are funny, like they're like, people will get on they'll book a call, they'll reach out and they'll be like, is this like legit? Like, do people really get deals and this, that, and third? And then sometimes I sit on the inner circle calls and it's just like there's other people just popping in the call and they're like, yo, I just bought a land lot. I'm putting $500,000 duplex on it and this, that. And when you hear what people that are part of the 24/7 cash flow community are doing, just they're doing, I'm just sitting back like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, I did that move. You put in that course, that layer of the course, and yeah, I did that and the bank, and then that scaled. You'll start to understand that there's a process to it. There's just a process to it. You have to invest in your education though. You have to really dial in. And it is hard to dial in. It's hard to dial in. I understand. There's a lot of distractions out there, but that's why distractions are very expensive. That's why, to me, distractions are the most expensive thing, because it can get you dialed out. And you can sit on the sidelines of real estate all you want, criticize it, wait on it, but you got to get in the water to swim. It is what it is. I think that's that, guys. This was like a freaking marathon. We knocked out all 10. So hopefully you got value out of that. If you have more questions, feel free to DM, reach out. If you're interested in any of our programs, we're going to be releasing those tickets for the ride along Saturday, March 15th. Definitely grab your seats ASAP. Sometimes people will wait, reach out late. Just grab your ticket if you're interested in that. I don't know when we'll do another one. It's been exceptionally busy this year and getting everybody deals. So I don't know when we'll do another one. So I would definitely tap into that March one. The weather will be great. Be working on a ton of projects to show you guys. If you're interested in boots on the ground, always reach out ASAP, because we only take on like 1 or 2 people a month just to keep the numbers small. So reach out ASAP, get yourself locked in while there are spots available, and tap into the knowledge, man. Just stay locked in. Stay locked into the channel. If nothing else, if you get this in 20-30 minutes of this once a week, you'll actually snap into real estate education and probably go out and do a deal anyway, if you really stay locked in. But I'm all about accelerating. If you sit back and look at average life expectancy and wherever you're at within that chart, you'll realize you don't have that much time to be clowning around anyway. So you want to accelerate quickly, get to your goal in 3 months, get to your goal in 90 days or less. I love paying for acceleration, actually. It's just like, let's go just a little bit faster. Let's get straight to the knowledge. Because if you do it yourself is great until you realize how long everything takes. I don't got time for all that. And money loves speed. Money loves speed. So if your goal is to make more money or make more cash flow, that's a secret for you too. Money loves speed. You want more cash flow, you add scale. Speed is scale in real estate. Money loves speed, and speed is scale in real estate. Scale. A lot of people are trying to build the house faster. I need this house built faster. I need this house built faster. No, you need more houses built simultaneously. You need 5 houses built simultaneously. You don't need 1 house built 5 times faster. Scale is speed in real estate. So those are two cheat codes of understanding. What's limiting you from your goal is that you won't get started. That you won't get started, basically, and take steps to get to the point where you can scale. That's what really, that's what real estate mentorship should prepare you for. That's pretty much what it should prepare you for, is the ability to scale. It should show you how to do a deal or two, and then all the systems that you need to scale so that you can do more. That's the game. And for that reason, because money loves speed and speed is scale. So that's how you're going to hit your goal. You're going to tap into an area and you're going to do more. So I hope that helps, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. I want to talk about how some of these, how the Trump impact is hitting the real estate market so far. We may do that. We may do that later this week. So I'll probably drop something on IG stories. But guys, reach out if you have any questions. Share the content. Feel free to DM me if you want to tap into our free real estate trainings, learn more about any of the programs. I'll see you guys on the next one.